Live from downtown Detroit, home of WDIV and Click on Detroit, Local 4 News at 11 starts now.
A Metro Detroit artist now involved in the Oxford school shooting investigation. What detectives removed from his home tonight and what his attorney is saying about his ties to the Crumbly family.
We begin, though, with slick roads causing multiple crashes tonight.
Andrew, you're also tracking the coldest temperatures of the season, I think.
Yes, we'll see temperatures get down to the teens to around 20 degrees, and it will feel even colder. Now, when you joined us at 6, we still had some of these snow squalls around, and you can still see them here on Storm Tracker 4. But temperatures were just above freezing. Well, things have changed. Air temperatures and road surface temperatures are now at or below the freezing mark. So those places that were wet are now frozen, especially untreated surfaces. Let's look at where the snow is coming down. We saw some scattered flurry activity right here in Detroit in the areas of lighter blue, some heavier snow showers around Flat Rock, these darker areas of blue here, south of Romulus, as you can see, along 275, and just out to the west, as you can see, closer to around Belleville and Ypsilanti. Farther to the west, same sort of deal, close to Scioto Township, Ann Arbor area, also Saline. So we'll still see a few of these scattered snow showers continue as we go through the next couple of hours. Current air temperatures are in the 20s to only 31. That's one of the highest temperatures we're seeing, but that's still 1 degree below freezing. And now enough time has elapsed where the road surface temperatures are also below the freezing mark. So icy conditions are across much of southeast Michigan, especially ramps, bridges, and overpasses. For folks who are venturing out, or if you're waking up tomorrow morning, you still may encounter this slipperiness. So be careful while walking and driving, whether it's late tonight, especially when it comes to driving, or tomorrow morning. More on tomorrow afternoon and the rest of your 7-day forecast coming up.
All right, Andrew, our other top story, detectives with the Oakland County Sheriff's Office executing a search warrant at the home of Andrej Sikora.
It was his art studio on Detroit's east side where James and Jennifer Crumbly were arrested after an intense manhunt. Victor Williams is live at the Sheriff's Office with the latest developments tonight. Victor.
Yes, Kimberly and Devin, this story just continues to unravel. Authorities here at the Oakland County Sheriff's Department are not only questioning this artist, but they're also executing that search warrant that happened earlier today. Just like you said, they did confiscate multiple devices as this investigation continues.
My detectives are currently executing a search warrant, seizing digital items such as phones, computers, tablets, etc.
That was Oakland County Sheriff Mike Bouchard just hours ago going on record about the investigation surrounding artist Andrej Sikora and if he intentionally tried to help James and Jennifer Crumbly hide in a warehouse on Detroit's east side.
We voluntarily complied. We knew there was going to be nothing there, but we wanted to dot our I's and cross our T's. We went to the home. It took 10 minutes. They searched his phones. They took a couple phones and they left.
Sikora's attorney Clarence Doss says his client has been cooperative every step of the way. Prior to the search, our cameras caught him at the Oakland County Sheriff's Department where he spent hours being questioned. Doss also insists the 65-year-old artist had no idea the Crumblys were being charged until it was too late.
The next day, when he found out that they were arrested, he went to Troy Police first because he lives in Troy, and then he went to the Oakland County Sheriff's, went to downtown Detroit to the police department, and tried to tell somebody in law enforcement what he knew because he was as shocked as everybody.
Now it will be up to a prosecutor to decide if Sikora himself will face any charges of aiding, abetting, or obstruction of justice.
I don't believe there's evidence to charge him, and I don't believe he had any malice or negative intent to harbor anybody.
We'll just have to see what information the investigation, the search warrant, and these discussions bear.
And Attorney Doss says his client will continue to cooperate moving forward because simply he has nothing to hide. Victor Williams, Local 4.
Certainly more to come on this story. Okay, Victor, thanks. Devin.
Well, there are a lot of people in Oxford talking about what's next, and part of that discussion involves possible new gun laws. That would, of course, mean Lansing, and that led to a spirited discussion tonight at a meeting with State Rep John Riley. Jason Colthorpe was there, and he's live tonight in Oxford. Jason.
Yeah, Devin, this was billed as a listening meeting, and many of the few dozen people who came here wanted to hear the representative's thoughts on guns, possible new legislation, and what could possibly be done going forward to prevent another Oxford from happening again.
Shut up and quit interrupting.
Okay. Hold on. Let's just stop it right here.
Frustrations boiled over a few times at an open forum for the Oxford community Monday night.
You need to stop the lie.
Let her talk
That was a lie.
You guys, everybody got a chance to talk. Just
Control
let
your
her talk.
meeting.
Why is he talking to us? You should be talking to him.
And much of that frustration was directed at Republican State Rep John Riley, who hosted the meeting. Some parents of Oxford High students had direct questions about his stance on gun laws going forward.
Because your own voting record shows a clear and consistent record of failing to support any type of protections for our children.
Please give an answer on why you're not willing to do something about common sense gun reform when your constituents have been killed.
We need you to be on the side of our children. And that's all I have to say. I don't care about your vote.
Riley said he does support common sense gun laws, but he's not a fan of creating new laws, even one that would require people to keep their guns locked up inside the home.
Even though there's pressures in this world to act fast, I think this is a time, like I said, to dwell on it, to get as much information, to look at the whole situation. I don't believe in just knee-jerk reactions, so I think you have to actually investigate things before you do anything, whether it's spending people's money or whatever.
And he did have some supporters here that shared that view as well. Now, you heard some talk about voting records in there. What was being referred to, and it came up, was a bill that was voted on last Thursday, 2 days after the shooting, which included $50 million for school resource officers. Well, I asked Riley about that, and he voted no on that. And he says it's because he feels spending's already out of control. And that day it was bumped from $10 million up to $50 million, and he was going to vote no even at $10 million. And he says, that aside, when it comes to his district, Oxford, they already have a school resource officer. Back to you, Devin.
Well, Jason, explain his issue with gun locks?
Quite simply, going back to his core political beliefs, believing in smaller government, fewer laws, he also thinks that one is an unenforceable law, being it's behind closed doors. Back to you.
All right, Jason.
Well, this week, funeral services will be held for 3 of the victims. Over the weekend, Madison Baldwin was laid to rest. Tomorrow, a private ceremony will be held for Tate Meir. Hannah St. Juliana's funeral service will be held Wednesday night. And then on Thursday, Justin Schilling will be laid to rest. In light of COVID concerns, we've been asked to live stream Justin's funeral. It's set for 7 p.m. Thursday night. We'll have a link to it right on the homepage of clickondetroit.com. Meanwhile, the principal of Oxford High School has announced counselors and therapists will be available for both students and all community members throughout the next 3 days. Tuesday and Wednesday sessions will be held at Oxford Middle School from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. and then Thursday from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. at the Oxford Virtual Academy Elementary Lab. If you need immediate help, the crisis hotline is available 24 hours a day at 1-800-231-1127.
In downtown Detroit, the Pistons tonight honoring the lives of Madison, Tate, Hannah, and Justin with a moment of silence at Little Caesars Arena. Pistons players also wore Oxford T-shirts instead of their traditional warm-ups. Of course, over the weekend, the Lions dedicated their win yesterday to the Oxford community, and the University of Michigan wore a patch honoring not only football player Tate Meir, but 4 hearts on the patch as well to pay tribute to the victims.
The shooting outside a Beaumont Health Clinic in Orion Township is now being blamed on marijuana debt. The Oakland County Sheriff's Department says a 20-year-old Oxford man was meeting the suspect to pay off his debt when he was robbed at gunpoint, then shot in the knee. The suspect then drove away with 3 other people. Nearby businesses were put on a brief lockdown while deputies searched the clinic.
We think we can safely say it's all clear in this area. We believe our suspects have fled from this individual situation, and it has nothing to do with anything that everybody's on super edge about.
Investigators say the shooter drove off in a dark blue Chevy Malibu. All right, now to the coronavirus and new numbers in from the state.
Been 16,590 new cases over the past 3 days, averaging out to 5,500 cases per day. But again, this is Monday, so even though that's down significantly, we have to take into account the fact that there is less testing going on the weekends. 127 more deaths being reported, including 47 that come from a review of vital records. Meanwhile, hospitals across the state seeing high numbers of COVID patients.
We're seeing a significant number of patients that are unvaccinated that are coming in and quite critically ill that are often arguing or pushing back against the treatments that we recommend. And talking to your doctor can be very helpful. But the best defense we have is still to get vaccinated. We've got 3 very effective vaccines. We know they work, and all adults are now eligible for a booster.
61.8% of eligible Michiganders have received at least 1 dose of a vaccine. Now, that number used to be higher, but it now includes children ages 5 to 11.
Still ahead, a Michigan teacher removed from the classroom for comments about the Oxford school shooting.
What the district is saying about those comments that scared some of his students.
First, he stole a school bus. What he did next that caused thousands of dollars in damages.
But first, an 80-year-old woman with Alzheimer's missing in Oakland County. The moment deputies rescued her in the woods. Next.